Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Kume, and we are here live with another Wednesday night special, the review. I saw him this
And it's
time,
Mr.
guys.
Big Bobby B too, since I never get announced.
No,
Ever.
I always say, and my baby Big Bobby B. I do it. I absolutely do.
He
So
does.
so
Give
don't
me a
be
hard
don't
time.
be acting like I don't acknowledge you sitting right next to me every single week. Anyway, so it's your girl Talitha Kume
You can
and
move
my
your head
baby
on hard for you hurt your neck.
and my baby Big Bobby B.
Oh man.
So anyway, Bobby, you're throwing me off. I'm trying to figure out what to say, and you're messing me up now. Anyway, so today has been an awesome day, you guys. It is the day before Juneteenth, June 19th, and we actually got a chance to, with my stop, with my job, I got a chance to attend the Black Girl Magic luncheon today, and it was absolutely amazing. This organization, they actually honor and send four deserving young African American ladies to college each year. So that's what the luncheon does. And so they provide, they get donations, they'll have the luncheon rather, and they invite everybody, the who's who in the community, and then they get donations to be able to gift the girls with scholarships to the school of their choice.
That's
So
really
it was
cool.
pretty exciting to be there today, and got a chance to attend with my CEO. So how many of you guys can say, if you have a CEO, that you actually get a chance to, break bread with that person? And so I'm so excited that I'm excited I was able to go, and I'm excited because I really am still loving what I do and the ability to be out in the community making a difference. So that's just really cool to me. I want to talk about briefly before we get into the movie review, because we're just kind of reviewing our weekend or our last week or whatever. So last week was my birthday. Was it my birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was my birthday. My birthday was a Friday, and we got a chance to attend a fashion show. And I think we told you guys about it, but we didn't tell you guys where it was or anything like that. But I want to let Bobby B talk about the experience we had there.
Well, we got to attend the fashion show on Friday at what's the name of the place? Please give it to me.
I don't remember.
FCC.
That's what it was called.
It'll come to me.
Okay.
And it was a good event. It's a hair show.
Uh-huh.
These kind of events I wish more people would know about.
Yeah.
It was just one that more people should have been in, but I don't think that more people would have been comfortable in this kind of space, really.
Mm.
I think all the chairs that were available were taken.
Okay.
So
So it's
being
kind
able
of
to see
small.
Minister Stretch open up the crowd with his dancing is great. He's a dancer, so
Yeah.
he just really gets down the whole time.
Yeah.
He danced to every song. He knew every line dance to every song ever created.
So Minister Stretch, actually, you guys, that can be your. He is a activist out here in
Yes.
Las Vegas, and everywhere you go that has to deal with anything that we need to protest about or anything that we need to bring to light, especially when it pertains to Black people. He is out there in the mix. He's been doing it for years. A very young man, very humble young man, but he is great in the community. And he's actually the
Yes.
one who put the call out to actually get barbers and cosmetologists and fashion designers and stuff like that. And that's how I heard about it. But he actually hosted it. We didn't know he was going to host it. But yeah, so he's about his dancing. He don't play
He's
no
about his
games.
business. Like if you look at it, when I go back and replay the tape in my mind of this event, it was good because of the right connections were there.
Okay.
He brought a trichologist there, and she got on stage, told about what she does, and I just walked right up to her table afterwards and set up an appointment. Trichologists, they're specialists who study on hair treatment.
Oh, okay.
And
okay, you told me about
and
that.
scalp treatments. So I want to go get my scalp healed, and she has all the knowledge, and she locks as well. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna see it, because like there's some spots here where the hair is just a tad bit like shorter than the rest. All this stuff is growing fast, like all over my face, but this is growing shorter. So I want to see if she can transplant like just a little to like where it's growing shorter, to like feed it, make it grow, or whatever she has to do. But yeah, I'm interested in going. First appointment, there's no cost. So if you would like to get information on this, leave us a comment and I'll give you all of her information, where she's at, her office, and how you can make an appointment. She has about 4 appointments available next week. So you should go.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Once
you go and let me know how it is, because you guys.
I'm extremely excited because you never get to really meet people that do things like this.
That are cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And you guys already know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, that although my hairstyle is really trendy and I love it, I've kind of gotten into the groove of it. It is because of alopecia. And so that's the reason why you're always going to see me with head shaved on the sides, because my hair stopped growing on the sides years ago. And I'm sure that it has something to do with weaves, maybe, and braids and different things like that. But actually, it's hereditary for me and my family. So, because I feel like I have several friends who wear weaves and have braids and have for years, but their hair didn't fall out on the sides, or their hair still grows and they're still able to wear those cool styles. And so I believe that a lot of it was just hereditary.
Right.
Pepper? Was just hereditary and just kind of happens in my family. So I would love to, once you go, let me know how that is. And maybe I'll take that up. But you guys, the show was amazing. Bobby did a great job. Shout out to the Echo models again, because they were. Why do you keep putting your thumb up? Shout out to the Echo models.
Because you did it by mistake and it did that, so I was trying to do it again.
I haven't done anything.
You were doing this.
Who?
And it recognized your thumb.
Really? Right here? When I did this?
You did something like this earlier.
No way. No way.
Yep. And it did that on your side.
Yeah, that's weird, you guys. This is weird. This whole format of how the live is structured now is really, really strange.
Does it do something with
because it's doing it as a reel instead of doing it on our or it's doing it as a reel and on our feed. So it's really, really weird. Anyway, so that was the show was amazing. Bobby did a really good job. Shout out to Echo models who joined us on stage. They came through and did their thing, and they always represent, no matter what. We told you guys about them last week, and I'm telling you guys about them again. She actually has a master modeling workshop going on this coming Saturday, the 21st. I want to say it is the 21st, and it is I want to say it starts at like 5:30 or something like that, or whatever. I'll put information when I reshare and when I edit everything on the live. So you guys, if you are in the Las Vegas area and you have babies that are interested in modeling or just gaining confidence, or you yourself want to gain some confidence, or you want to break into the modeling industry, this is the person to see here in Las Vegas. So shout out to her. So we want to go ahead and get to the movie review. I'm not feeling real good today, y'all. Something's going on with my body. But nonetheless, I had to come and represent you guys and make sure that you guys saw our face this week. But the movie review that we have for you guys this week, I didn't think that we saw a movie, and we actually did. So we reviewed Straw last week, and the comments are still in. The comments are still coming in, rather, on why that movie was great or why that movie was trash. And so it's funny. It's
never trash. He never does trash. It's just
it's funny to
hear
say
what they want to say.
Yeah, it's funny to hear them and to hear the reasons why. Right. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty good movie to me, a pretty good watch. And so this week or today, I want to talk about a movie called The Girl in the Garage. And so I just happened to be, I think I was just resting, relaxing. I want to say it was Friday. I think it was my birthday that day, or either it was Saturday or something like that, or whatever. And I'm just relaxing and watching TV, and Bobby was somewhere. He might have been taking a nap or sewing or something.
I was sewing.
And then I was watching The Girl in the Closet, starring Tammy Roman, who was in that. And I had been wanting, I kept passing by like for a few years, because it came out a long time ago, to watch it. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to watch that, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up watching it. It was very interesting, very, very interesting, and very sad. that movie. And then right after that movie, this other movie came on, The Girl in the Garage. And Bobby actually came in, so he ended up getting a chance to watch it with me. So I'll let him kind of tell you about what he thought about The Girl in the Garage.
I thought the actors were great.
Okay.
What's his name?
The light skinned guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
I have to look up his name, but anyway, that brother was good.
Yeah,
he made me believe it.
He started to be. He's starting to play a lot of bad roles. Actually, like a lot of times I'm seeing him
super Muslim in this movie. He did really good.
Yeah.
His eyes look evil. He has really beady, snaky looking eyes. So he looks kind of. He did good.
Okay.
And what's her name? I don't know any of these characters. The only person I recognize and know from this movie is Carmela.
Carmela Dooley.
Carmela Dooley. Whenever you go on Google, her picture is the first one.
Yes, that you see.
So shout out to Carmela Dooley for being like the first face I saw when I walked in here.
Yeah.
On the movie.
Yes.
It was great. It made me sit down and just watch the whole movie.
Because of her.
Yeah.
And she didn't even have a speaking role, you guys.
Yeah.
So she was just an extra in the film. And I want to say she may have told us friends about it, because she's a friend of mine, told us about it, but I didn't pay attention to the name of the movie or anything. So it was such a great surprise to be watching the movie and be like, oh my God, that looks like, and then for sure it was absolutely her. So I had to give her a shout out and tell her we were watching the movie and we saw her. But it's starring her name is Paige. I don't know what her last name is, but she actually last thing she was in that you guys would have recognized her in would have been Power. But I was telling Bobby, I remember her as Keisha in Everybody Hates Chris, so I'm always gonna call her that, Keisha. And Everybody Hates Chris, it was the girl who lived next door that Chris had a crush on for like the whole entire show. I don't even know if I don't know if he got together with her at the end of the show either, because I don't even remember the end of the show. I don't remember how it ended.
Right.
But anyway, so she was a star of the movie, and it didn't start off really slow. It kind of got right into it. But what struck me as interesting about the movie, The Girl in the Closet, and Bobby was like, you like watching these type of cult type movies or whatever, and I don't. I'm just, because I'm a fan of psychology, I just always wonder what makes someone join a cult. Paige Heard. So what makes someone join a cult, or how do you get people to become interested in something that's totally, it seemed like it's weird from the start, but when you watch this movie, I believe that you kind of get sucked into it. But what I did notice about it, though, was that a lot of the movie before and this movie, the person didn't have anybody close to them really looking out for them that was near them. Like the main character, her family was out of state. So she moved to LA for a better life, want to follow her dreams, living her best life initially. And then once her and her family come into some complications, then she meets this gentleman, and then he ends up kind of pretending like he's this nice guy, looking out for her, and then ends up, suckering her into being a part of a cult-like situation. And so it was just very interesting just to watch how that transpires. And even, I don't know if there's like red flags or something like that you can look out for right away. Like when you saw the movie, what would you think that would be a red flag right away? Like when she first met dude, even though he seemed nice, what would have been a red flag to you to be like,
he was just doing too much right away. And I thought that was kind of odd that lady was like that. If she was like that in real life, she just did not have any detectors for anything.
Okay.
She just,
okay.
She just let anything go. Because what happened in the first of the movie happen? And then automatically this dude just swoops in and does this.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I
agree.
Then you're like already in the situation all super fast, and
yeah.
What happened in between that?
Okay, and the movie didn't show us that, but it showed that, he came along, like Bobby said, he was a nice guy, and she automatically just let him into her life, so to speak, and then everything went dark and everything went ugly. So I would say, I guess, the first thing is check your people out, especially in 2025, you guys. And not that it hasn't been it's been happening for years, but for years we didn't have any real indicators or really any real way to be able to check people out like right off the bat. And so because we are in a social media era in life and they're collecting information on us anyway, the information is out there. And so I would say that when you are do your due diligence and making sure that somebody comes up to you, especially somebody that you don't know, or even somebody that was referred to you, check them out first before you start letting them into your personal space.
He came referred though.
Check them out. That's what I'm saying. Even if they're referred.
Yeah, I'm talking about like. Yeah, that's weird.
Check them out. Weird. Check them out.
Yeah.
And make sure they are who they say they are, or just kind of follow what they do. If they have any social media imprint, if they don't have a footprint or whatever, if they don't have that, then I would say the first couple of meetings you want to meet somewhere public, making sure that there are people around, and then just kind of try to use your spidey sense, man, because there's sometimes people will give themselves away. Sometimes people are really good, so let's not lie and say that they're not. But use your spidey sense. When something kind of seems kind of off or feels kind of off, man, bounce.
Right.
And then also make sure, especially if you're a single woman, make sure you tell someone exactly what you're doing most of the time when you're doing it. I know when I was single, I told Bobby that I had this thing where even if I dated anybody, it didn't matter who it was, even referred, not referred, whatever. I would always tell somebody, whether it was a family member of mine or a girlfriend of mine, I would tell her, this person, this is their name. I would sneak and get their license plate number. I would give the person their phone number, and then I would say, hey, I'm about to go on this date and we're about to go here, just so you'll know. And I mean, and if the person is a murderer or whatever it is, sometimes if you're already out with that person, it's not a whole lot you can do. But at least if I came up missing, I knew that somebody would kind of know where to look a little bit. And so single ladies, please keep that in mind. And these dating sites are some bull crap. Please, these dating sites, don't fall for it, man. I know it's hard, ladies out there, when you're trying to look for a guy. But try organically. And I'm not saying that that's safe either, because we just don't know about people, right? We just don't know. But on the internet, you can pretend to be whomever you want to be. And some women are really, really women are getting murdered. Women are getting murdered. I've heard about that a few times just recently, about these women that are getting murdered from being on websites, on the dating apps, and going on dates with these guys.
I got a buddy who's on like Facebook dating.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it going well?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know nothing about none of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty new.
Yeah. So, what, the Facebook dating?
It's all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Online dating stuff.
Yeah. It's new as far as like, 10, 20 years ago, I think. So that new, if you're saying that new.
It just doesn't
but it's
seem
been
like
around.
It's kind of like online college. I hated that.
Yeah, it's been around. And so I would say for the girl in the garage, I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3. I liked it, but it wasn't something that really, it's not something I would want to watch again.
I didn't like it at all. But I just like the actors. I thought the actors did good.
I'm saying that I liked the movie, because good acting is always going to kind of keep you engaged. But I didn't really appreciate the storyline. I didn't like the storyline. I didn't like the direction that it took.
Right.
But it was a good watch nonetheless. And so if you're interested, The Girl in the Garage, we saw it on Lifetime.
Yeah, it's a real Lifetime movie.
Yeah, so. It is. And then I noticed, and I didn't realize that Lifetime, I knew Lifetime was about a lot of real life stories, but I didn't realize how depressing it was.
Yeah, it's white Tubi.
So every time, Bobby called it white Tubi, because every single movie was girl in the closet, girl in the garage, girl in the basement, girl in the attic. And then it was about, some movie about some boy that was that hated women or hated girls and started beating up girls. So I'm like, why are these movies so dark and depressive, you guys? So it's really, really hard sometimes.
Lifetime's always been on that. Remember, used to be on.
That's why I said I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't realize it. It didn't register to me how the movies are so just kind of sad.
Missing in the range.
Yeah, they're talking about real life stories. But what I appreciate about it, just like the Tyler Perry they're showing you, it's kind of informational. So whether it's informational to a kidnapper or not, it should be informational to those of us who watch it, especially when it's a real life story, to be like, oh my God, this could really happen. So let me watch and pay attention to what this girl did or this boy did or this whoever did and didn't do. So now it might raise eyebrows when you're out and you might be faced with that same situation. You're like, oh, I saw this on Lifetime. And okay, I'm not going to do that. So that's what I think about it. So I want to talk about, we really didn't have any food, y'all. I don't know if Bobby wants to talk about any food because we went, I just took him out on date night yesterday. We went
to Chili's again.
We went to Chili's again. We had a different server. We tried to go to a different Chili's, but we did not feel welcomed at all in that Chili's. And so as soon as we got in there, Bobby turned around and left. I was so mad, y'all, because I was so hungry.
She was so mad. I'm like,
oh my God, I was so hungry. So he made us go to the Chili's that we had gone to before, which is the one off of Craig. But we had good food again. Food was good. Mm-hmm. Food was really, really good.
My watermelon Dr. Pepper wasn't a hit.
Oh,
it was not really
wasn't
a
good
hit,
this time for you.
It was cool. Yeah. We saw Jazz, the originator of it. We told her, hey, I called her the wrong name. I said, is your name Jewel? She said Jazz. Oh yeah, that's right.
But, shows how much you remember, for real, for real. And then we were supposed to go to a show, and so we would have had something to tell you guys about that. We probably would have went to a really cool restaurant there, but we didn't get a chance to go.
No,
and I just wasn't.
He making a steak for you.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Yeah, he did. He made me a T-bone. So instead of going to the show that we were supposed to go to,
that steak had a really good flavor too, boy.
We went and got some food, and Bobby cooked for me T-bone steak and shrimp and asparagus, and it was great. So I had a great time. Oh, shout out to my aunt who gave me a card, and shout out to our roommates Lisa in the building who got me some cake, red velvet cake. If anybody knows
she
me,
gave me a beautiful card for Father's Day. Yeah. It was insane. I was like, I love this card.
If anybody knows me, my friends know that I love red velvet cake. OMG.
Red velvet cake.
Red velvet.
I thought she just said wet velvet cake.
Red velvet cake, you guys. And so anyway, so our last thing that we're going to talk about, because almost 8:00, I wanted to talk about this Instagram post that I saw. And usually when something is really interesting, you know, you were supposed to get a snow cone for a date night, and we didn't get one.
Slacker.
I don't know. See if it's still open. The Bahama, whatever. Yeah. Is that where you want to go? Okay. And so I'm looking, scrolling sometimes, but you guys know that I took Facebook off of my phone. So I haven't been scrolling that much because it's not on my phone anymore. But I still have Instagram on my phone. So sometimes I'm scrolling through there, just kind of find out what's going on in the world, because we don't watch the news either. And so hopefully when you guys hear about some of this stuff, it might be new to you, but you're taking heed, because a lot of the stuff we do not hear about. And so I take the opportunity when something is interesting to me to kind of talk about it, shoot it back to Bobby and see what he thinks about it. And so I saw a post about a woman who joined a church, and I'm not going to say the church name. I didn't feel like it was right to out them like this, but I am going to talk about it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And so this woman joined this church, and she said that she was there for about 6 months. Everything was going great. She'd meet new people. She was having a great time. And then she got a bill from the church saying that her membership required her to pay $50 a month. So it was a collection letter telling her that she owed however much she owed, because she was now a member. And then they also said that it requires her as a member. It's a $250 a year fee for the pastor's anniversary, and then to help the church kind of pay off their church debt and different things like that. So she actually was on the news. They did a news segment about her, and she was saying that she wasn't going to be going back to the church because she was asking, how are you charging me money monthly, and then how are you actually sending me a bill saying that I owe this amount to learn about God, or to be able to be discipled. And so I wanted to get your take on that, Bobby, and what you thought about it. I know how you feel about church, so what do you think about that?
I think that whoever did this, whatever church did this, honestly, they're they're being straightforward with what they are, what they're doing. People already go there, right?
Well, they weren't straightforward with her because she didn't know.
Oh.
So she didn't know. So you figure
I
come up, I'm emotional or whatever it is. I come up, I'm emotional, and then I joined the church. And then I would say, I guess once I joined the church, at that time there should have been immediately, like I joined the church.
She was going to be like a certain type of person or something.
No, I don't know, but she didn't say that. She just said that she received a collection bill about how she owed $50 a month, and she had, she needed to back pay because she had been a member there and she had not been paying her dues. I guess these are dues, and so like Bobby's saying, of course, if you're upfront about it and you choose to still stay there, then that's on you. Right. But she didn't know about it, so they didn't tell her. Right. They didn't tell her initially, like, hey, when you join this church, we have a membership requirement of $50, a month that we would like for you to pay. Okay, well, what does that do? It helps us do blah 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 blah.
It keeps you consistent. So you're gonna pay your membership fees and you're gonna keep showing up.
Yeah, like at a gym or anything like that or whatever. Right. I can't say.
Maybe they should all go to membership fees and just annihilate the other thing.
The tithes and offering and all that other kind of stuff. And they said at least the minimum was $50. So the minimum was $50, and then if you didn't pay that, they were coming to collect on their debt, and so that's just funny.
Well, they sent like a henchman to your house or something.
That's what I said. They just sent They just sent the collection letter. So that's what I'm saying. They sent the collection letter. So if you're gonna send a collection letter, then you're ballsy enough to have collectors calling the members saying, "Hey, sister so and so, we ain't received your $50. We ain't received your $50 this month." Blah 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 blah. To me, I feel like the $50 is no different than tithes, right? Tithe and offering. So
it could be.
It's no different. I'm saying as far as
if $20,000 a month, that's nothing. Here's $50. You have it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So tithes and offering, at a lot of churches have tithes and offering where people tithe monthly or weekly or whatever, tithe to the church for whatever the needs the church has, and then they have an offering which is like above and beyond. Like say I was blessed, and I might have got a bonus this week or whatever, and I'm gonna pay, an offering and do whatever I do with it. Now for me, if you are a church organization that is heavy in the community and you let your congregation know that the money that they collect not only helps to, pay lights or whatever it is, it also goes to the community. So we collect this money and we give back to the community, or we give back to our members that are in our congregation that are giving this money, kind of like the susu. So like you give money, and when you're in need, it's an automatic. I'm a member here. I go here. My light bill, they about to cut my lights off. I lost my job, whatever it is. Then I'm possibly eligible to be able to get some of that money, which is some of the money that I've been personally paying, every month or every week or whatever it is. But I feel some type of way about it because I wouldn't join that church either. I wouldn't be at that church because they're making it a requirement, and I don't believe anywhere in the Bible that it's really a requirement. From what I remember about tithes, offering, and your time, that God asks of you to do that.
It's to do what the Bible says in church.
Oh my gosh.
No.
So as a believer, you want to give of your time, right? And you want to be able to show your loyalty or your faithfulness to God by helping out his house, which is supposed to be his house, right? We can go down a whole rabbit hole about all that stuff now, you guys know. But at the end of the day, I don't think that it should be a requirement to pay membership dues or membership fees.
It's already a hard problem if people feel like it's an issue anyway. Like you don't need to be here in my church. Like you're not a giver, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But also, they shouldn't be having to go about getting money that way either.
Yeah, I don't feel like
it's all dirtbaggery. I don't like it. So we're gonna give them a
right. So that review, it's one pew. Probably said one pew. Whatever it is, like I said, I'm not gonna say the church name, but we actually thought about because right now I won't. right now we are not attending any church. We
City.
actually,
I'm telling the state. You ain't got to tell
no,
the city.
no, we are actually not attending any church right now. Although we were members of churches for years, and I was a member of my dad's church before we relocated here. And we just after COVID, we just started to really kind of study the Bible for ourselves. And you guys, I had not studied the Bible that much ever in all of the years that I went to church, which is crazy, because I was busy working, doing, I was a worker bee.
Right.
And so I feel like outside of church, and this is just my opinion, that I've grown closer to the Lord outside of church than being inside of church. Because sometimes church is just really kind of political, depending on what type of church you attend. I know that the body, we should get together and not forsake the fellowship. So we should be around people that are like-minded or like us. But at the end of the day, I feel like God just requires for us to be.
How does that work? How does that look?
I
around
think
people who are like, because I know people who go to church, right?
mm-hmm.
And I'm not being funny or nothing, but their only time to be out really is either at work or the times they're around people at church.
Yeah.
Not really active or interactive with these people.
Right.
Like they don't do anything with these people. They're not like hanging out with these people on a Monday afternoon somewhere. They're not doing any of that.
Well, some churches that are, I commend the churches that are though. The churches that have the small groups, the churches that
small groups. That's where it was at.
Yeah, when we're out, on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, we going to dinner, whatever it is, and we're just really getting to know one another and being there for one another, like the Bible says, and we're able to support
groups and stuff.
Yeah, so we're able to support each other and lift each other up. So we were actually thinking about you guys adding to our reviewing churches. Now, mind you, I'm all for that in 2025, just because the direction that we're headed, if you are a true believer and you read the Bible, dark days are coming. I'm talking about coming. They're here. They're coming. There are more, and they're going to be more dark. And so we thought about, just kind of going back and visiting churches, but also thinking about, holding people accountable, especially those leaders that are leading us, holding them accountable for what they say and how they respect their membership and their congregation. Because at the end of the day, we are leaning on them because that's what the Bible says, right? And a lot of them are like, if you're in my house, you should respect my authority and all these kind of things or whatever. But if you're not leading correctly, then why should I? Why should I? Why should I respect your authority if you're not leading me correctly?
There's no authority to respect.
And we as believers, if we're not in our word for ourselves, then we can easily be led astray. You can easily join a cult and not know it. Easily join a cult because you're not reading for yourself. And so we're thinking about that. We're not sure. When you guys watch the playback, let us know what you guys think about that. I think that would be really interesting. When we come on, I wouldn't say the church name or anything like that. The pastor.
I'm gonna say the name.
No,
it doesn't make sense to do a review if we're not telling us Chili's.
No. I mean, if it's really bad, then maybe.
No,
but I wouldn't. I'm saying if it's, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say the name. I'm not sure. If it's good, maybe. But if it's bad, I don't know. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not the authority on all things church, but we do read. And we do have understanding.
We're basically going to go in and have like a point system on it. Are these people for people or are these people for themselves? Pretty much it.
Or are these people for money? Because that's what Bobby thinks. Bobby thinks that the church itself, especially nowadays and even before, the church itself now is just really political and about the money grab. And they're not really in the communities like they used to be. And even in my play that I did for Women Who, back in March, we talked about that. We talked about the church and we talked about politics and we talked about the fact that church and politics, they neck and neck.
They start putting this pressure on themselves by giving people positions that God didn't give them.
Yeah.
And then having to like compensate them for that.
Yeah.
So they had to start like, selling peanut butter sandwiches or whatever else to raise money.
Yeah.
To pay for positions that weren't even supposed to be paid for. These people are supposed to be donating this time and service.
And so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And we'll let you guys know if we're gonna do it. I know that
we're gonna do it.
I know in July we're gonna be taking some time off. I know we're gonna be because you started talking about the church and then we started talking about anyway. Whatever. So we're gonna be taking some time off in July. So you guys might not see us in July. I'm gonna be doing some replays or some re-airs, and then we'll be back in August, hopefully. And hopefully you guys are liking these videos. If you're not, you know what I'm saying, then it's no point for us to continue to do them. We do love them. Well, I love them. I love being able to.
So then that's the point to continue to do them. Whether like them or not, you like to do it.
I love being able to talk to you guys and talk about movies and different things that I'm hearing about, you know, in the news, stuff like that or whatever. But we will see you guys later. I am about to go ahead and grab some of this good food that Bobby has cooked. We'll see you guys, next week?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. And then after that.
It's another protest tonight. No war on Iran. Another protest in Las Vegas.
Oh, no. Yeah, see. All right, you guys, we're out.